You fire people if they don't have a six-pack.
If I wasn't in good shape, you wouldn't be here right now. I had to figure out how to stand out, how to be different than everyone else. And I thought, as I'm getting older, man, I'm just going to stay in elite freaking shape. And so we just decided, like, hey, man, we're all going to have six-packs. A lot of people will disagree with it. At the end of the day, man, I want to be a good example for people.
Like, look, I understand. I'm not saying I agree, but I understand, because what you're looking for is the trait of discipline and commitment and standards. And that's going to show itself in someone who takes care of themselves. But I also live in Australia and run businesses out of Australia. And for those who don't know, it is a communist hellhole here. And so you'd never be able to get away with something like that in Australia. One thing that, like even for instance, like, so I run sales staff across a lot of Australia and New Zealand. And if somebody comes into your interview and says, I have severe social anxiety and I can't handle rejection or strangers, and they're applying for a job where they're talking to and getting rejected by up to 50 strangers a day, you can't legally turn them down on that basis, and you get fined up to like $150,000 for saying, no, this isn't a good idea for you to do this. Even though if you were to put them in that position, you would ruin their life. I do think that there's a line, and it's somewhere between, not hiring people who don't have six packs and, not putting people in a place where they're going to have a mental breakdown. So I think Australia could probably pick its game up a bit.